Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. It's been a while, but I am going to start working on my Fallout backlog. I've got a lot of Fallout models that need to be built, and we're going to start with the newest actually, because, well, why not? Actually, I know why, because I told my brother that since he was really interested in playing Institute, that I would go ahead and do this video so he can get working on painting these instead of me. I like that. So, I have not played Fallout since New Vegas came out, and I don't really remember much since. So you'll have to forgive me, but I do know my post-apocalyptic looking dudes, and you've got some awesome looking scientist types, and especially this guy over here. He's the winner in my book. So what do we have in here? We have 4 Gen 1 synths, 2 Gen 2 synths, 1 scientist, and 1 courser. So courser, scientist, I'm assuming. I don't know the difference between Gen 1s and Gen 2 synths, but I'm sure we'll figure that out really quickly. And I'm sure I'll be on the receiving end very quickly. That's a little different. Okay. Well, that's a lot of box for not a lot of bags, but that's okay. Because I'm not going to have to deal with building them. Oh, no, I am building them. What am I talking about? Okay. So this is nice and easy. I like when everything is in a nice, neat, and convenient location. And it also helps when I show it and it is actually in focus. There we go. There we go. I'd forgotten how nice these models were coming straight out of the box. Quite nicely detailed. Modiphius has done a really good job with this stuff. The resin's nicely cast. There's not a lot of cleanup necessary. Here's one of our synths. Appropriately junky looking tech. I'm going to assume that would be a Gen 1 then. Get that loose piece of flash off there. Those stun batons look like they might be a pain to get off the sprue correctly. And as always, do be careful when you trim them off the casting gates that you don't cut the little plugs off that actually attach to the base. And they're totally different bases. Interesting. I'm going to have to remember that. Okay, whole bunch of synths. Gun synth. Clean that up a little bit. Another gun synth. And another advancing baton smith. I guess if you really want to be really cheesy and take it easy, you could probably just give these guys a quick silver, dry brush and call it a day after you prime them. Okay, here's our hazmat scientist guy. I'm assuming it's that scientist. I mean, it just seems like it would be. I could be wrong. And it wouldn't surprise me if I was. Maybe you are a Gen 2? You look more human. What do you here? Where's the courser? Okay. This guy must be the courser. I think. I'll have to look at the box, which I tossed on the floor. Yeah, because this guy's kind of ratty looking. You can see the tech coming out from underneath there, too. All right. I am going to get these guys built. We'll check them out. We'll see how they show up alongside some of the other post-apocalyptic type models I've got, and we'll dig out some of my Brotherhood guys, and we'll see how they turn out. So we started with our Gen 1 synths here, and everything went together really smoothly. These are the ranged models. Do need a little bit of cleanup still, but that's not a big deal. I went ahead and glued these to the bases just because they're so thin. I don't think it's really going to be an issue trying to get into little spots like the blasted rad roach or the remains of it here on the tip of the base. Kind of a cool touch. And our other one, I have no idea what kind of guns these are. Somebody probably will let me know. Those are the ranged ones. And then we have the close combat versions as well. Again, I do need to do a little bit of cleanup still, but that's okay. We'll do that before we get them primed up. Then we have, where are they? The Gen 2s. Getting a little bit long in the tooth there. I like going with the rifle myself. This guy was actually a single piece. I'm kind of surprised about that. But it works. Really nice detail. Makes me curious to see what the Elder Scrolls game is going to be like as well. But I think that was going to be in plastic, so really curious about that. And finally we have, oh gosh, what was this model called? I don't remember. I don't have the box handy. Cool guy. It's called the Cool Guy. Yeah, no, he looks pretty good. Even though I did not glue him to his base yet. And my favorite of the lot, the Scientist. So surprisingly, I figured that the synths would have been a little bit smaller and thinner, and I was not mistaken. They are just a tiny bit smaller than the humans, obviously, because they're supposed to have the skin covering, aren't they? Well, in my head canon at least, they're basically T1000s. 800s, 1000, I don't remember. It's been a long week. You'll have to forgive me for my nerd knowledge. Grabbing our painted Brotherhood member here. Now, admittedly, he is crouching over a little bit, but these guys are perfectly to scale, and obviously they should be since it's the same game, but then again, these models are scaled pretty nicely with just about anything on the market, so if you're going to have them as some kind of 40k Imperium problem gone awry, then by all means, I think it would work wonderfully, even with Primaris involved. You want to get them into some kind of desolate fantasy situation, I think that's going to work as well. You want to have them hang out with Malifaux stuff. Do I have any Malifaux stuff? Well, I do have an unpainted model here. But again, really nice. That 30mm scale is going to be perfect for this. Anything in that range, I think you're going to be good to go. And a random Mantic Enforcer. Okay. Hey, actually, that works pretty well. So if you wanted to bust these guys out in Star Saga or something, especially considering all the scientists and tech research that goes on in that game, that would work wonders. So, definitely a lot of uses for these. And like I said, more than likely, these guys are going to end up in Zona Alpha when we get around to playing that. And I'll put a link down there if you're curious what that's all about. But we definitely have a need for some scientists in that game. So, thumbs up for that. And hopefully I can convince Barzam to pay in all these, because I know he was more interested in playing these. But then again, he went and bought his own knights too. So, who knows. One thing to note is that the cards are not actually physically included with these later releases. There were no cards, but they can all be downloaded, I believe, from Modiphius' website. Or you can purchase them. They have like a big pack that has all of the Waves expansions for that set. Like the Raiders one had everything included for all the different various Raider boxes, and then all of the various monsters and critters and other robots that were released at that time. So if that's something you are interested in, do check out their website, and it's got the rules and stuff there available, and you can always pick up the physical releases when they occur as well. With that said, this is High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.